Okay. So like I said, today we'll be looking at TeamLouie's channel. And before we actually get into the review proper, I always have the streamer fill out a given form that has a few short questions that allows me to have a bit more context into what's going on with the channel. And so I had TeamLouie fill out one of these forms, and we'll just run through the information very quickly. All right. Of course, he goes by Louie, and as you saw in the shout out, it's twitch.tv/TeamLouie. Louie has been streaming for 4 years, so that's awesome. He's been around for a while, and streaming schedule is 4 to 5 nights a week at 5 p.m. Eastern. Do you have hey Louie, do you have like set days, or are they just you pick them from week to week, or is it based more on kind of a more looser schedule in terms of actual days? Let me know. One of the first major questions I ask is, what would you like to get out of the review? Louie says, ways to beef up my stream, notes on how to improve, and hopefully confirmation that I'm not absolutely terrible. Dude, you're not terrible. You go by your girlfriend's work schedule? Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, what particular things do you want looked at? Graphics, notifications, overall look and feel, content, boring or not? Okay. Do you have any specific questions you'd like answered? Louie says, and this is I'm emphasizing this because I want to address it. Louie asks, should I just give up? And while I asked for clarification on that answer during a conversation, Louie, you shouldn't give up. I know that was a bit of a joke there, but dude, that's not what this is about. This is about taking a good look at our content and deciding, you know, here are the things that we should continue doing, and here are the things that maybe we should change up, all in the interest of improving. And man, dude, don't you worry. Don't you worry. Louie says my schedule is actually about to change because I'm starting a new job soon and I'll be working later. Oh, okay. That's important. Benny Fitz, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Good to see you. So, Louie, let's do this. Let's talk about your channel, okay? It's good to see you, Benny Fitz. You were okay before you were assaulted by TeamLouie stream. All right. Someone's got to keep them in balance. So let's see here. Like I said, we kind of break everything down. We look at we look at the design of some of the graphics first. So I always kind of go top to bottom. I'm seeing that we've got a banner here, which is excellent. However, we can't see what looks like, I imagine, your logo or some version of your logo. We step through this part all the time. Some of this stuff is are things people have heard before on this stream. This banner is blocked by the video carousel. I will say this probably works really well on mobile, because mobile doesn't block the top banner with the video carousel. They format it a bit differently, so you can view it more optimally on the smaller screen. But on a normal computer, video carousel blocks the middle. So what I highly recommend is either you make it a cleaner graphic with nothing in the center, and if you so desire, optimize for a 1080p screen and maybe put something along the top that you don't think will get cut off, or along the side. So those are kind of the safe spaces when it comes to this sort of thing. It's a super bad logo that says Louie bad. Okay. Got it. Is that something you still use, or is it just here? But regardless, that's just a small thing. I mean, it just means that most people can't see it. And most people see this much of it. Most people see this much of it. So next, I see a profile picture. Oh, hold on. See, I see I believe that's your logo. I always forget when I click that, it goes immediately. Can I do this? All right. So that certainly looks like a logo. And is this a logo that you use across other platforms? I imagine so. But that looks good. So that's awesome. I see that you've got streams from yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days. So you're streaming every day so far, according to this. This is good. This shows that you're active. People who aren't active have nothing to show here. So that's certainly, this is good. This is good. You made that literally right after you started your stream and you need to fix it. Your stream used to be called Louie's Bad at Games. Okay. I use it on Discord and put it on a t-shirt. The old days when you could rely on Louie's stream being as advertised. Benny's saying you've come a long way. That's awesome. But yeah. Yeah, what I would consider is looking at a cohesive visual style for all your graphics. So if you're not it's not what he's saying. He no longer advertises accurately. Got it. There it is. Hey ArcFox, good morning. Thank you for the clarification, Benefits. So here, yeah. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to use something that's more consistent across your other graphics. Let's see. So we're looking at all the games. You are definitely a variety streamer. I'm kind of curious. Let me see here. Among Us, Subnautica. Genshin Impact. Cool. Definitely variety. This is cool. I mean, certainly depending on what you're trying to do with your channel, your game selection can certainly affect how you're being discovered. But this is probably you have a whole full row, which especially for variety streamers, is even variety streamers, you're pretty active in terms of all the different games you're playing, so that's good, you know. Do I have follow-up reviews in mind? I do. I actually do, Benefits. Yes. That is something I'm kind of keeping an eye on in terms of like now going back, looking at channels we've worked with before and seeing how they've you know, grown and changed over the time. For the record, Louie's an old friend, and my favorite thing is knocking him down a few pegs. TeamLouie says, I want to focus on chat interaction and let them see me fail at a multitude of games. Hey, that's fair. Benefits says, sort of a kitchen nightmares. Return to the nightmare. Return to the nightmare. Man, I binged Kitchen Nightmares. This is fantastic. One of my favorite shows. How does he do it? How does he do it? Let's see. TeamLouie suggests these streamers. So this is called, like, I think your streamer shelf is what they call it. It looks like you have a few streamers on here. Actually, all of them. I'm familiar with all of these streamers, especially this one right here, Benefits. Cool dude, right? This is good. Always fill this with people that you would like to share with, people coming to your stream in your channel when you're not around, and hopefully serve them some content that you yourself would give your stamp of approval on. So that looks good. Let's see. So these are recent streams. I got a highlight. I've got me, because you're hosting me. So very quickly, and you've probably seen this when you look at your own channel when you're offline, they've added the ability to add trailers. Create a 60-second video of your stream, where you introduce yourself, say, hello, I'm TeamLouie. You can watch me fail at a multitude of games. I'm live at this time on these nights. I was gonna say on these random nights. Let them know to hit the follow button, maybe turn on notifications so they know when you're live. Very quick, very short. No one does this. No one does this. You are now review number, I believe, 14 I've done. 2 people have had a trailer when I've looked at them, and that's pretty indicative of a lot of things. One, it's a fairly recent feature, even though it's been around for many months. But 2, not a lot of people, I think, are willing to put in the work on that. I actually myself have one that I had when I came back to streaming several months ago. I ended up just, you know, working on a new one now that it's been like 4 months since I've come back to Twitch. And so pretty easy though. It can really be literally you just talking at the camera, but I know you got video editing skills, so it's also a good place to not just have your explanation of your channel, but certainly clips that you think would be a very good representation of your content. All right, let's hit the about section. So most of this is actually the stuff people see when they're even looking at your stream. This is the stuff that populates the section below the video player when you're live. I always start by checking out this about panel, and I see who's ready to fail. So this, while it's funny, I would say there's a bit more that you could put here. Now I know you have what looks to be a more filled out section in the about me. The way I view it is I use this well, not panel, but this section as a brief overview of the channel, and then if I do more in the about me section, it goes into a little more detail than what was up here. Oh no, you thought you removed a merch picture? That's okay. So this is kind of like the same information I'd have you do on your trailer, where it would say, hey, I'm TeamLouie, come watch me fail at games, or whatever it is you think should be here, that explains who you are, what your content's about, and you know, what they can expect from you. So I would take a minute and just think about a very brief description. And ideally what this description here is, it becomes the thing that you verbalize when you introduce your channel to new people. It becomes the thing that you introduce yourself as. So I see that you have a link to your Twitter right here. One second. Let me just click it. Really? Is this 3 T's? Twitter has 3. Yeah. So there's a typo in your link right here. Twitter with 3 T's in the middle. So go ahead and just, you know, remove a T. That'll be fine. So that link's broken. I always check for broken links. Let's step through the rest of the panels. And what I would do here, I know you already have a social section. You can move all of these up here. So you could have a Facebook, Instagram, YouTube right here. And people are starting to learn this. This is another recent addition to Twitch's own page redesign that they did a while back. A lot of people are starting to finally get used to looking at things here. One thing I'm noticing as I scan your panels really quickly is that you could use a business email listed somewhere, whether it's a link up here or in your about section, especially if you're looking to work with more game studios like developers and publishers. Usually if they're, you know, checking up on a channel, they like to confirm a way to contact, which is generally an email or a Twitter. Email and Twitter seem like the biggest ways that potential partners try to reach creators. So make sure you have that somewhere and have it visible both on your Twitch page as well as your Twitter. Like Pipeworks Studios, yes. Like my company, Pipeworks Studios. That's part of where all this comes from. All this information. Because I do this at times for my work. Yeah, just send me an invoice, Benny. That's perfect. All right, so yeah, get an email address somewhere, a business-facing email address where potential partners can reach you. Okay, let's look at your About Me section. I'm just a dude who likes video games and likes to make people happy by playing them. I used to play video games and my friends would heckle me and tell me how badly I was doing, and I thought, why aren't we streaming this? Well, now I am. I sincerely hope you enjoy. I'm a variety caster that will stream just about anything. Cyrus Sin, welcome. Ahoy hoy. Good to see you. So that's a pretty good about. It tells the story of how TeamLouie came to be. And I like that your about is in the first slot here. Some people make the mistake of not putting the most important things in the first panel, which is usually going to be your About Me. Some kind of about. Typically, the things that most people look at the panels for are some version of the about and some version of the social links. Those are typically what people look for, as well as the schedule. So I always recommend doing in the first 3 slots in whatever order you're most comfortable with, but usually leading with about me, socials, and schedule. And if you have rules should be up there too, so this is good. Rules is in your second panel. And I like how you're being very specific here, so this is excellent. This is a community-based stream. Without you, there's no me. That being said, here's a general list of rules if you're going to hang around in my chat. And actually, I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Can I click? Nope. See, I've been to your stream. So just make sure that the rules, because you have a rules section, reflects this somehow. If anything, a TLDR of this, because when someone clicks in this box right here, they'll have to agree to your rules. So just make sure that they are similar. I mean, exact is ideal, but this is certainly a long list. So one thing I would hazard to say with any content that you put down here, make sure that it's quick and to the point and has the information you want. Sometimes you can't avoid having a big panel worth of text, but it's always good to go back and review this stuff and see if there's anything you could trim, keep succinct. So that's good. Let's see, we got socials. Okay, so we're gonna do the link test here on socials. Got Facebook. This page isn't available. So another broken link. Let's see if this Twitter one works. This Twitter link works. Yeah, so this... Yeah. Yep, we're getting to the tip jar. Benny. How dare you? How dare you? Instagram's good. Instagram's good. Steam Group. Steam Group's good. YouTube. YouTube looks good. Look at this thumbnail. Look at this thumbnail. That was a G4 Needs Talent audition. I'm so glad that you did that. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. So, Facebook is out of date. It looks like. I would look at all your other accounts. Seem pretty active. We'll roll through some of these here shortly. I will watch it off stream. Make sure that you, whatever you link here are things that you're willing to maintain and bring value to your community and potential community members. So if, you know, like I mean, I imagine the Facebook thing is something that you may not have been looking at or maintaining. You're not gonna lie, haven't worked with your about section in probably 2 years. Yeah, you should do that. It's always good to kind of revisit these sections every so often. You know, make sure it's all in check. And I'll be honest, when people browse these pages, they're not always out to look at everything in here. They'll usually scroll down, they'll see what looks interesting, but typically they're either looking for a schedule or socials links, like a Twitter or a Discord, or they may be looking for a link to tip. So let's see. So rules. Oh yeah, you have a follow Twitch etiquette link right here. Oh, I see. So this looks like a Twitch etiquette image that someone made on Streamer News. Okay, that's interesting. That's a cool idea. I've not seen this before, like linked in a panel. I have a story about trying to teach someone Twitch etiquette once. It was fantastic. I could tell that one later. Actually, I was thinking about actually making that a very quick video. Even like it's so short, but it's just a funny thing that I'd like to share. Teaching Twitch etiquette to streamers who aren't familiar. But I'll talk about that later. I like that. That's kind of cool. That's actually pretty neat. Let's see. So don't be rude. Try not to talk politics or other controversial topics. Follow Twitch etiquette. Don't spoil games. Have fun. All right. And just for FYI, using Twitch's own tagging system, you can now tag no spoilers as an additional way to reinforce that. Tell people, you know, please don't spoil this story game. Tip jar, let's click it. Let's see if it works. Honestly, more and more, I think it's worth ignoring accessibility in favor of using image panels. Here's why. Oh, I would like to hear that. You have a Streamlabs link, which looks like it forces you to be condensed and concise. Oh, given the limitation of the image. That's actually the thing about this, and kind of, that's a really good point, Benny. Because the thing about it is, not everyone reads everything. And most people, you're gonna lose people when they see the length of some of these panels. In terms of actually reading that. Yeah, and I was gonna say 320 by 320, which we've discussed before, is the max image size. 320 pixels by 320 pixels on these sorts of things. So this is good in that they're consistent, but they these panels do lack a visual design of some kind. And if you kind of realize the thing that you would like to do, because you're saying you have ideas on a visual theme, make sure that applies here. And Benny has a good recommendation. Like what you could even do, which some people do this, they put their information on the graphic in as the panel. And you have 320 pixels by 320 to cram the information in per panel. So maybe that's a good way to do it. It's a good way to do it. Consider that. Some people build it into the panels themselves. So that works. Yeah, no worries, man. Let's see. Does this merch? TeamLouie Corn Dog Club. Right on. We got a merch link. You can easily highlight actionable items by giving them a unique visual style. The more I see text-heavy panels, the more links don't stand out. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, when my limit is around here if I can help it. I try to keep it. I don't know. It's tough. It is tough though. Let's see. But yeah, consider doing something with your graphics where your information is embedded here. You think your Discord link is broken? Yep. Invite invalid. Yeah, so you'll want to update your Discord link. And actually, I do believe Discord does work here. These panels will accept, or the about box will accept any link, but if it's one that it doesn't, this was a surefire way of me recognizing that this link may not have worked, was because it has a little chain link here. And that means it's not something it recognizes normally. It would still work if the URL is correct, but it changes the icon if it is indeed a social network like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord as well. So it will replace it with the icon. Yeah, you don't need to say this is Louie's Twitter. You could just say Twitter. All right. I think this is the last link. PC part picker. So a list of the pieces that are in your computer. Looks good. You have a cheerleaders extension. Those are always neat. But yeah, what I would recommend here, you have all the right, I think, things, but I would look at designing panels that fit in here with the visual style that you're picturing. But yeah, and then maybe consider using that part of panel. Wouldn't redundancy to the new About Me section coupled with the old school panels be better? I mean, I've seen it a couple different ways. I think what's important is, regardless of what you do, even if there's some kind of redundant, like even if there is or isn't some redundancy up here, that everything is up to date and whatever you have down here is succinct. Yeah, I kind of like that idea, Benny Fitz. I like that idea too. Make your Twitter handle, make it your Twitter handle. So it's right there. I like it. You had this weird influx of people entering your Discord, like a few hundred in the span of a few days, and they definitely weren't viewers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no worries. The thing to know about your Discord link, of course, in those occasions where you're gonna have to update it, just, yeah, I would consider making sure the link eventually is up to date. If you, yeah. I've heard of this happening to some Discord servers, too. Let's look at your schedule. So I know you don't have a consistent schedule, so I don't expect to see anything here. What I would do on your about section is make a schedule panel and say that your regular time is the same, but your days may rotate, and that they can expect you at least 3 to 4 times a week. And then I would remind them that they can not only follow, but make sure notifications are on. So this notification button. And encourage them to have them on so they know when you're live. As well as you could point them at your Twitter and say, hey, check out my Twitter, I post when I'm live, if that's a thing, if it's a thing that you do. So. Easy fix. These are all easy fixes so far, Louie. This is all good. This is all good, man. So, let's look at video section. It was an old schedule. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, even to have something up there that says, hey, look at my, you know, I see that you're looking for schedule. I can guarantee that I'm on at this time, but I can't guarantee the day. Please ensure that you have notifications on or something like that. We have recent broadcasts, recent highlights, popular clips, and all videos. These are the standard things that Twitch puts on your page. In fact, you can't get rid of these different categories of videos. Now, I've noticed, this is from browsing your stream in the past and browsing this channel, you have a lot of Twitch Sings content, which is awesome because it actually auto-highlights your performances. This is a perfect example of creating a collection. And Twitch's collection feature is basically playlists. You can create a playlist of pretty much any form of video that you would have on your channel. So that's recent broadcasts, highlights, uploads. Those are all the major ones. You cannot have clip collections, but otherwise those other ones you can. And then if you were to make a collection, always prioritize highlights or uploads, because if it's a recent broadcast, it will eventually go away, as you know. And when it goes away, the playlist is still there. And, you know, if you have a playlist that is full of recent broadcasts and those over time expire, then the playlist will point to nothing. But once you create a playlist, you have the option of adding it to this page, and it's a nice place to showcase that content. So you have a lot of Twitch Sings content. Still make a point to say, oh, here's a Twitch Sings collection. Check it out. And you can order all of these categories any way you like. So I recommend, usually people like recent broadcasts, and then people like clips, usually, depending on what you got going on here. But I highly recommend putting together a Twitch Sings collection, and then I also recommend putting that here on the video section. If this was, yeah, so if you're looking at this page as the broadcaster, it gives you a little link right here that says to edit this section, and you can do that. And if you go to your video, what's it called? Video producer, your video producer section. That's where you can create a collection and populate it with the different highlights, uploads, or broadcasts that you have. Cool. That was the first part of this, Louie. How you feeling, man? I think overall you got the right idea. There just needs to be some updates and maintenance. Overall, not, you know, nothing major to improve upon. Just consider how you format the about box and how your panels look, and make sure your links are up to date. Dude, you're fine. You're fine, man. You're doing great. I know your part of your shtick is to like, hey, I suck at this. I would recommend reconsidering what your thing will be, because I think there's a lot to say about, like, I know you're doing it in jest. I know you're joking. But I think the theme of, hey, I suck at this, doesn't help you. I think a lot of people will see that and be like, oh, well, you know, that's okay. You know, it's kind of funny. But, like, I know... Yeah, it's also super saturated. Yeah, Benny... Yeah, I was trying to find the words. I was trying to say, well, and also, like, you see people do this. And it's kind of overdone. But what I would say... And this is part of a bigger thing that I'm willing to, and I'm sure Benny Fitz is as well, and anyone that you're close to are willing to help you work through. I highly recommend that you build it around a theme that is more, at least that is less about how bad you are. New theme you're working on is hot sauce. Okay. That's why you stopped. But yeah, I would also say just be sure to, like, in your messaging, you get away from that. And, like, let's be real. You want to find something that helps you stand out and makes you unique. And those are the things that make you you. And I don't think focusing on the concept that you believe you're bad at games is the way to stand out. You have a lot going for you, dude. You got, you know, you are a kind dude. You are very easygoing. You love to do crazy stuff. Like, there's so much going for you. The fact that Louie's bad at games is not a pillar. It's not something to build a channel upon. You know what I mean? I'm bad at games, dude. I am horrible at games. But, that's not why people watch me. You know what I mean? It's not why people watch me. But, to be real, man, I highly recommend, and I see that you're thinking of another, and it's not so much a theme, I guess, is what I'm saying. It's really about, what is Louie about? What is TeamLouie here for? And what are you as a viewer going to get from TeamLouie, right? And what are you as TeamLouie going to give anyone who comes by your stream? And you got a lot going on, buddy. So you gotta identify those things that you love about yourself and make it part of what you're doing here. People who see that guaranteed will return or follow or sub, you know. Wrestling and hot sauce. Those are two things. Saracen is correct. Wrestling and hot sauce. There it is. And while hot sauce may be a theme, I want you to think about who you are as TeamLouie. Okay? I want, like, who you are. What you value. The things you want your community to be. Okay? Think about those things. And I'm always willing to talk through that stuff with you. I'm always willing to talk through that stuff. So, now we're going to dive into VODs. Dude, Louie, you can do this. Okay, you can do this. Actually, let me... Ignore the Sunday coffee. Well, that was Sunday coffee. Dude, look. You're good, man. You're good. I get this. I deal with this all the time as a content creator. Here, hold on. Let me call this. Let me call this. Here, hold on. Real talk. That's what this... Real talk. Look. Creators go through this all the time. They really doubt their, you know, their ability to do the thing that they're doing. A lot of creators in general go through this. That's why there's a whole thing called imposter syndrome. Don't let imposter syndrome control you. And I know you're a funny dude. Don't lean into the, oh, I'm really bad at this joke, because you got a lot going on. Benefit says, I think it's important to maybe every 6 months reevaluate what you're doing, make micro adjustments in your content, and check brand cohesion. Yeah. Consistently. I'm in the middle of it right now. You can do this. I advise only let it control you during rounds of Among Us. I think what I'd like to do, I see a Subnautica playthrough here. I think what I'd like to do is jump into a Subnautica VOD. And it's also pretty long, so that gives me a lot to work with. 1, am I currently cohesive with my brand and content? Good question. It's all about how you represent yourself. 2, does anything feel old and outdated? Benny Fitz knows this from experience. Because he, you know, as you probably all know who watch Benny Fitz, he was at the point, you know, recently of a redesign. Are people attaching to those concepts? Yeah, I think that's really the things. It's really about, as people, we all change, right? We change, we grow, things are different over time. And it's really important to look at how you represent those things in your channel. Because let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. No one cares. No one's coming to TeamLouie just for Among Us, although it helps. Not gonna lie, it helps. No one's good, you know, people may come for Among Us. People may come for Among Us, or Twitch Sings, or Subnautica, or whatever other game, Genshin Impact. They may show up for that, maybe. And I'll tell you now, with the discovery algorithm, not always. But they show up for whatever reason. They stay because of Louie. They come back because of Louie. So it's very important that you figure out the things that make you both unique and interesting, and understand that, and not be afraid of that. Now, the thing is, being bad at games, fine, but yeah, it doesn't really, like, when I think of, you know, when I think of a given streamer, like, bad at games is not one of the things I would put near the top, and hot sauce isn't going to change that either. Thank you, Benny Fitz. There it is. Anyway. But I know you. I know you're a good dude. You're a funny guy. There's a lot of things you got going. Yeah, Benny Fitz is correct. Exactly. You got this. Okay, let's do... Let's do some VODs. People will be attracted to Louie if they find him. Exactly. Exactly. So let's get... Does this have sound? There we go. There we go. Took a second. So let's see. Chat, what do you think about this? Thoughts on this? Anyone? Yeah. It repeats and is jarring, I agree. What I would like to see, perhaps... Yeah, because it's a hard cut. What I would like to see from here, if this is going to be the screen we stay on for a while, is you do this transition in, but then you leave this up. You don't, because it's a short loop, and because it's a hard cut, it is jarring. It makes it difficult to sit through. No worries. No worries, man. We're gonna let that sit for a second, okay? You go live with one scene and verify you're live, then you go to your loading screen. That's fair. Two scenes are functionally the same, but one includes the loading bar. ArcFox says you could also do the Fight Club thing and splice in single frames of your avatar or something like that. That'd be interesting. But yeah, this loop is so short. It's very short. We're 3 minutes in. You did that with this, your black screen with the VHS effect is your verify screen? Oh, yeah. I like that idea. So I would stick with something that's more... Yeah, that... You can't have a short loop like this. This is tough. This is tough. We're sitting through staring at this. It's been 3.5 minutes. Ideally, too, I like to recommend you try to hit a 3-minute mark on these screens. And this is because you may have your regulars and your community or friends come by and they're like, okay, cool, I'll just wait. But most people, if they so happen to click on your channel or end up here, if they have no context for how long this is gonna be, they may leave. You may have a higher bounce rate, which means they'll see it, they'll be like, neat, I'm out, maybe I'll check it later. Benefit says, I'm also a fan of light animation. Yeah, I agree. It's clear something's happening, but it's not a light show spectacle. Yeah. And you gotta remember, this somewhat sets the tone for your stream, right? This and how you enter the stream sets the tone. So I would shoot for 1 to 3 minutes on here. Benefits does a loading bar to indicate to some degree when to expect him. I do a timer. I generally recommend a timer because it's easier. But yeah, there are like progress bar type solutions that also work. I like the way Benefits does his, so let's skip ahead and see.
Pulling you back in. So for the first 15 minutes, regardless.
So we get to about 13, 14 minutes. This is still going. I would recommend keeping this short. Up to 3 minutes is my best recommendation. I've considered making a loading screen app for streamers that put a timer loading bar up they can use in their stream. Benefits, I would use that. Straight up. I would give it a shot for a while to see how it feels.
So cute. Look at you guys. You're so cute. Regardless, it's me. It's your boy, your friend, and maybe even your boyfriend. Maybe, just maybe your boyfriend. Maybe. Maybe.
Benefits, that would be awesome.
Regardless, hello. Guess what we're doing today? We are going back to the ocean and more Subnautica, but first, I wanted to do this before we got started because I played it as a joke yesterday, but then I couldn't help but play it some more over the last day or so. That's Adventure Capitalist. It's a dumb clicker idle game, but gosh dang it if they don't do a good job of pulling you back in. So for the first 15 minutes or so, we're just going to take a look and see what I'm doing here. Oh, good. I have enough money to buy the oil company now.
So let's back it up a little. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up a little bit. Just a little bit. You got a follow from ArcFox though. Yeah, you got ArcFox here. So let's look at this. I paused on the perfect look of Louie there. Let's see. I would say the balance of this scene could use some slight work. I would make your camera maybe a little bigger and maybe give it a frame of some kind. Chat looks fine. That looks good. Yeah, there you go, Benefits. Not too much to say here about the design of this, but your I'd say maybe like a very simple frame around your camera, make it a little bigger or bring it in a little more. No big deal.
TeamLouie.
What I feel like a slightly missed opportunity here. Now, the energy's great. Energy's great here. This is awesome. This is perfect. But the missed opportunity is you got people in here talking. You got Derek Jacks, you got Penny 30, you know, they're saying stuff. You could greet those two people and say, "Hey, welcome. Thanks for being here at the very, very, very beginning." Right? You know, you see that they're having chatter amongst themselves. You could comment on that. "Hey, welcome. Good to see you. I'm glad you're doing fine, Derek. You know, that's sweet that you got a new air conditioner. That's awesome." Like this is an opportunity to get the ball rolling, right? The energy levels are there. Fantastic. Use it. Roll with it. You have some momentum already because you have people in chat. They're already going. They're talking to each other. You don't have to stay here much longer, but this is a good place to say, "Hey, cool. I see you. I recognize you. Welcome."
Hello. Guess what we're doing today?
And these are the community. This is the community here that have made a point to be here. Some of which, because I'll tell you now, look at this timestamp. 4:47. Hey, Louie. And I know you chatted. I see that. That's awesome. This person, Penny 30, at 4:47. When did you jump in here? Roughly 15 minutes in. Penny 30 waited almost 10 minutes. Penny 30, yeah, waited 10 minutes through your screen. You know, you want to give them that love. You got to love on them a little bit, you know?
Back to the ocean and more Subnautica, but first, reset the claim. And then, so for one pair of boots,
We're going to leap into some gameplay.
1.5 billion.
So your gameplay scene looks good. It's very simple and clean, which is excellent. Your camera looks nice and clear. You appear to be well lit. I do like the "This is Louie" little bit here. That's pretty funny. So I appreciate that. This looks good. A lot of people opt for the simpler game scene, right? Where it's a camera, a frame, not much more. Some people do like a rotator that has information of latest follows, subs, etc. Some people do a little marquee. I saw a marquee the other day that was fantastic. So no worries, Louie. No worries, Louie. I was basically commenting on how clean this scene is. So this is good. Yeah, no worries, man. That's what VODs are for. So what you did miss, and the most important thing, is that you had people in your chat. Louis has this sort of Lenny from Of Mice and Men humor. Ah, I see what you're saying. He does, actually. He does. Should lean into that. Before I lose the thought, what I was saying was that when you were here, I don't mind covering this again because the emphasis of this is so important. What we did here That's really funny, by the way, what you did with the camera there.
TeamLouie.
What you could have done here, and I said this before, your energy was really good, but there was no real engagement with these initial comments in your chat. I mean, I know that you did some brief chatting in the actual channel, but this is the perfect time to set the tone of engagement for your stream, where you can welcome in the people who are talking, acknowledge them, see them, and say, hey, look, welcome, thanks, cool. That's all, you know, that's all. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. You don't have to spend too much time here. Some people will spend a lot of time here. I spend longer. Just kind of setting the tone, getting people settled in. But what you at the very least, you want to engage these people. Call them out, say their names, refer to what they're saying.
Regardless.
And then you can jump into the games. Then you can jump into the games or whatever you want to do next.
Where we're not quite as profitable. Also, I don't know why it's doing this, but it keeps resetting whenever I go to another
Yeah,
setting.
benefits.
I don't know if it's a bug or whatever in the game, but it's done it like 8 times today. Like back to whenever I first started.
Yeah, man, just consistently engage. Just consistently engage, right?
We're gonna start. Don't worry, we're gonna start.
And I know, and then let me caveat this with, I know this is one VOD, right? I know this is one VOD. I know this is you know, not indicative of how you probably are in every stream. But I'm calling what I see, you know. No worries. And there's no reason to explain, you know, how you normally do. I just want you to know, like, this is what I see, here's what I think. I will say that for this particular VOD, nobody chats for like 45 minutes. Okay, that's fine.
5 minutes.
That's something we can look at here. This is perfect then. This is great. Being able to cover this when people aren't talking is another skill streamers do need, right?
Okay, so then let's just for good measure, just all right, all I have to do is hit escape to get out of it. I forgot. Don't sue me, please. I don't think I put enough powder in this. I mean, it doesn't taste bad. I just don't think I put enough.
I want you to sit in this for a minute, Louie. Like, pretend you're a viewer.
Yeah, you know what? We'll spend 10 angels.
Let's sit in this for like another minute and a half as viewers, and then let's discuss.
Okay. All right, just because we did some stuff, I want to go ahead and stop it and then load it back up. Because I don't know why it's doing that. I wish I did, but I don't.
Let's take a break there. What do you guys think, chat? What do you guys how you feel about that? And Louie, what do you think about that when you took a second to listen? I will take comments, thoughts, feedback here on what this was like. You didn't say exactly what you were doing and why. Sure. Yeah. There's no commentary, right? Yeah, I know benefits. I wanted to scrub through and see if there's any other examples. This was a good one. The silence is noticeable. I mean, I know you were humming on occasion, but the silence was noticeable too. Yeah, I wouldn't point to any specific thing you didn't do. It's really, yeah, it's pointing at what we do see, right? And what we see and hear. There was all we heard was the game for a significant amount of time. This is the perfect I mean, this game may not be great for commentary. And if that's the case, then that's okay. Although the easiest thing you can do is provide commentary about the game.
I promise you Subnautica is coming.
Yeah, it's a lot of bars. This is this is an idly game to some degree, right? It's an idle game, so a lot of bars. So the commentary here, you know, directly on the game may or may not be the best thing, but this is where a streamer would want to find other things to discuss, right? Or fill that space with. Yeah, when you've got a lot of that, it's time to draw attention away from the game, 100%. At this point, it's really It's totally about I know, right, Benefits? It's totally about filling that time and filling that air with something of value for yourself and for the community, the viewers, right? Whether I don't know, talking about idle games in general, any other knowledge you have about this game overall, what you ate for lunch, I don't know. Oh no, TeamLouie, were you linking something? Here, let me permit you. I apologize. My bot does that. My bot. Oh, I bet you had a period somewhere.
Yeah, 150 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had a dot somewhere. Got it. Yeah, I went to look at it.
We'll buy these.
Yeah, my bot will time you out if it thinks you're linking something. I apologize. So, right about that actually checks links rather than doing your... Yeah. That would be fantastic, because that happens all the time, Benefits.
88 million, okay.
So, this game, I'll tell you now, from what I can see, this game is there's nothing wrong with streaming it, but because there is not a lot going on here in terms of something you can easily talk over, like, one of the best things a streamer can do if they're having a hard time engaging their audience or providing them with something to, you know, hold on to while you're streaming, one of the easiest things you could do is normally do commentary or narrate what's going on in the game, your thoughts on it, whatever it is that's going on. There's probably some light, high-level stuff that you could discuss in terms of your planning while you play this game, but it's very difficult to rely on commentary. So this is where a lot of the hard work comes as a streamer, right? This is where you're gonna have to work your little butt off, Louie, right? You can tell a story, tell a joke, you can talk about games in this genre, whatever it is, right? And this is and I would say this because you noted that there's not a lot of chat interaction for about 45 minutes. Part of that, honestly, is on us as streamers. Yeah, it's probably... There's commentary to be had about the game here, but it's not narrative. 100%. 100%. It's not narrative. You can't do that here. Cyrus says I always ask stupid questions such as, is the cereal a soup? Just to see if people react. There you go. There it is. ArcFox says context presentation is useful. Heck, I don't know what's going on, but the numbers flying up is interesting. For sure. For sure. So yeah, there's commentary to be had, but you can't really narrate here, which is usually the lightest amount of work that a streamer can do to build that content, right? People showed up not to... Yeah, the random question thing, it depends on what's going... Yeah. I mean, I don't personally ask random questions so much. Viewers are hip to the game there. Yeah. People know. People know when you're really trying, when you're grasping for that engagement. You do, yes, which is why I only asked a specific one from... But you watched wrestling. Louie's about wrestling, for those that don't know. You can talk about that. That's really... See, and that's a perfect topic to think of, right? So I'm a game designer. I talk about game design in general, and I talk about the game design of the game that I'm playing or thoughts on it. That's kind of my thing. That's what I work through when I you know, play a game, right? It lets viewers that are sliding in know what you're about. Yes. I actually played this game as a joke the day before as a way to punish my regular viewers for causing a three-way tie in a poll about which game to play. And then I ended up getting really into it and just wanted to check up on it as a stream. No worries, man. No worries on the reason. There's no worries as a reason. And I'll be honest, like the using the game as a way to punish your viewers is probably not the way to do it. And honestly, there's value to be had in this game. I see there's value in this game. It's not. I mean, I know what you're trying to do here. That doesn't benefit your stream in any way.
Oh no.
That doesn't help you or your community, you know what I mean?
It's not a bork this time. It's a meow.
Crean Bananas, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, Crean. Yeah, it's important to see when viewers just aren't into a thing and bail on. Crean, how you doing? Good to see you, bud. Crean's another streamer. For those of you that are just joining us, we are discussing
what the heck is going on.
We're discussing content and how to improve. Oh, it looks like you're having some scene issues here. Yeah, I think you're gonna deal with it. We're currently reviewing TeamLouie and his VODs right now. It looks like you're trying to
normies. Amen, man. Why are the graphics general?
See, Crean lurks in your channel. There it is, right there.
Set to full screen.
Let's see. Benny Fitz, here we go.
What's happening here?
There you go. Looks like you fixed it.
Is it a bug?
It was the game.
Oh, Mr. Thunder. Oh, that's right. Have you, Mr. Thunderpants, have you been here since I've been an affiliate? There we go.
He is clever and funny. It's true. 100%.
We have emotes and everything now.
Receiving pre-recorded distress call laying back.
This is LifePod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Okay. Not too far.
I'm listening. We're listening to Louie right now.
Also,
Benefits.
Okay, then yeah, you've been here since we got an affiliate, but you haven't been here since the weird surge in subs. We have 119 subs now. I mean, granted, I'm not going to have those for probably that much longer. It's probably going to drop down to like 40 in like 3 weeks, but still, because most of those are gift subs.
Dude, that's awesome. Gift subs.
God bless anybody
Gift subs
like,
are great.
You know what? I'll continue this sub.
You're welcome, Crean.
So, data bank.
Calorie intake recommended.
Ooh, I need food. Sustain me, fish. I need to crawl down and get some fish then. Excuse me, swim down and get some fish. Hello, fish. Hello. Hey, boomerang. Thank you. Need one more fish. There you go.
So there's definitely, you know, there's some gems in there, Louis. I do think you need to fill the dead air a little bit more. Yeah, there it is. Benefits has some great examples. Chat, it's been cold this week. Now you got to lead in for stories about how cold it is where you live. It's just really about giving your chat things to engage with here. It's never cold in Atlanta.
Okay. So, go to our here. Consume.
Vital signs stabilizing.
There we go. All right. So the scanner. Oh, the scanner has 57 to 75.
So let's skip forward a little bit.
What's up, Denevian? How you doing, bud?
Good. There's some greetings. Awesome. Some engagement there. Excellent.
The ocean is a scary place, Denevian.
There you go. Good. Calling them out by name. Excellent.
That place doesn't.
This is the hardest part of streaming, 100%, and I'll tell you now. We've been seeing this with every review to some degree. In most, or if we don't see it, it's still a concern. It's still a concern for the streamer. It's like, am I talking enough? Am I filling, you know, the air well? Am I doing enough? Am I engaging the chat? This is the hardest part.
The highlight video for me eating all the hot sauces. Where is it?
You enjoy that part so much. Yeah, Crean. Agreed. Agree.
I'm gonna turn off the game capture real quick.
Here, it looks like you're gonna jump into something a little different. So this is a cool thing to see.
Baby with his hot sauce. Wait, wait. Did he actually try it?
Oh no.
I was like, this kid didn't eat it. Did he eat it?
All right, we're back with Crude.
Louis, you have a great voice, man. I think we all agree.
This was actually being filmed right after we did the Blair's Pure Death.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm gonna read the description too.
Oh, he has a toothpick.
This is great. This is I was gonna say. This is a TOS violation. The TOS violation. Watching that. That's I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't. Here, let's skip ahead a little. Yeah, Benny Fitz is covering it right now. Yeah, I was gonna say this. I thought it was common for streamers to use copyrighted music. Yeah, don't. Yeah, I wouldn't play those other YouTube videos onto stream. There's certain things you can play. That's not one of them. Actually, do you have something we can point people to on there? Benefits? Do you have something like that handy? In terms of like an example of... Yeah, you could play a Nintendo Direct. You could play stuff that's been aired by companies. Right? But like when it's someone's like own personal... Not personal, but you know what I mean. Like a YouTube video like that. For sure. So we got an AFK screen. But yeah. I didn't think you were gonna hit play. I didn't think you were gonna hit play there. I thought you were gonna maybe look read the headline and move on. I mean, it's fraught with peril if you were to do it. Certainly can cause issues. I'm gonna skip back to gameplay though. Skip back to gameplay.
Either way, my bladder is empty, my heart is full.
I was gonna say I'm gonna dig to find it as well because that's actually good to have. But there's some information in terms of like the kind of content you can restream. This is why yeah, it's part of the content policy. This is actually why, like, I didn't learn this until Twitch started having you Twitch, like, this was like a couple of years ago. I didn't learn this until Twitch made a point to say something like, of course you can co-stream this content. And I remember thinking, like, they were doing some event, and then there was this FAQ that was just like, hey, can I stream this too? And they're like, of course you can, because it is ordinarily part of their content policy not to be either restreaming certain content or something like that on YouTube, right? Like, those are all kind of part of the, those are different aspects of the same content policy in terms of what's good. And actually, I think I would really love to do, I would love to do a like a video or a stream about this sort of thing, because one of my, what was it? One of the other reviews that we did, I ended up saying, you know, you can't restream as an affiliate of Twitch to other platforms. And they were like, oh, I thought that was completely fine. And I was like, no, it's actually not okay. If you're a Twitch affiliate or partner, you have an exclusivity clause, or like an exclusivity section that's part of your agreement. And I can speak to the affiliate portion for sure, but like, if you're streaming, you can't be restreaming to another platform or post that content for at least 24 hours until after the stream has ended. I think a lot of people don't realize it because it's not entirely apparent, but if you think about it, you can't be upset someone used artwork without a license and then use someone else's video without license. It's contradiction. Yeah. Yeah, so I would like to do some coverage about, like, what is acceptable? What can we do in terms of what we can stream? So I would like to just call that out really quick.
Man, I should have done ASMR if I wanted you guys to vote.
Let's go back into the gameplay.
Oh, wait a minute. So wait, the PDA...
It is common for those accustomed to synthetic foods to be repulsed by eating an animal carcass. Remember that humans survived this way for millennia. You can too.
So somebody told me to get the story by reading the PDA, but what? The data bank?
Aurora, this is Sunbeam again. We just picked up a massive debris field at your location.
Ooh.
I didn't know how many of you... I didn't know. We're now en route to your location. We're gonna bring you home. Sunbeam out.
I got thirsty because...
Can I say?
Yeah, Louis. I mean, I would avoid
On a rock that small was in VR, and I blew it. It's a bad
vids like that.
but so are all the others.
I'm gonna
Okay.
find more information on the content policy. I'm gonna look at the TOS, and then I can share with you later what I
got
found.
hungry and thirsty because...
But yeah, it's actually a lot of people. I mean, it's not unlike how people are reeling from the music deal, right? Like, there are a ton of people who don't necessarily know or care about the stuff that they're adding to their streams, and it becomes problematic later, right? Sometimes, and here's the thing, like, Twitch is super lax about some of the stuff, it doesn't mean that it's not against their TOS. What happens is, you know, in the case of music, right? These companies finally got a hold of Twitch. They finally said, "Oh yeah, look, you shouldn't be using this music." Like that's why we had this big DMCA scare, right? Recently. But we do this, it happens all the time because streamers are like, well, what are they gonna do? It's not a problem. Biggest streamers play copyright music all the time. No big deal. And then we see this happen, right? So I think it's really, I would really urge a lot of you streamers to really dive into like the TOS and see what's acceptable, what's not, because you can't always depend on what is widely known, or not widely known, but widely done, because people either know and they don't care because it hasn't bit them in the ass, or they just don't know. So that's my thought. That's my thought on it. Let's listen in on this though, shall we? Shall we do a bit more gameplay?
Okay. So to make water, all I need is bleach, and to make bleach, I have materials already to make bleach. Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and make some water.
See, this commentary, solid. This commentary is solid. I would say, though, part of the problem is you're going a little too long in between making those comments.
What does the compass do exactly?
There you go. I don't think you need to be talking constantly.
I didn't really take a look to see what the compass did.
But when you begin to have long stretches of silence, it's noticeable. It's noticeable. And I know you're thinking, this is the hardest thing we do as streamers if we're doing game streaming, right? It's the hardest thing we do as game streamers because we have to balance the gameplay against looking at chat, against providing something of substance to listen to at the bare minimum. Not to mention all the other things we streamers have going on. So it's a skill that many people have had to practice over time. We're gonna keep scrubbing ahead.
Oh, hello.
You made a comment about, yeah, man. I mean, you know what you got to do. People want to hear your voice, Louie. A lot of people just agreed that your voice sounds great. Give them more to listen to. You know what I'm saying?
Betty.
Give them more. You're a funny dude. You didn't pay them to say that. Okay, again. Benny Fitz has a follow-up to the TOS stuff. Yeah, there it is.
Let's hit quiet vibes with some quotes. You are female, right? Okay, I thought so. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't remembering somebody else. Wait a minute, what did I just pick up?
I don't know if that was the best way to ask that question. That's my feeling on it.
And I'm officially out of room. All right.
Twitch just got slapped by the RIAA for soundtrack. Yeah. It's true.
Wait, I also have all these floaters.
We got more silence. There we go.
Bring your coronavirus over here, you thick, attractive woman. I forgot about that one.
Let's continue scrubbing ahead, shall we? Yeah, Louie is clearly a. You can see
No,
it.
that's from that's a quote from when I played Genshin Impact the other day. An accurate review of Genshin.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. There's definitely like it's awareness here. Isn't Twitch trying to circumnavigate all that with the cheap new app thing maybe? Well, yeah, they just got hit by an RIAA or by the RIAA for it because it doesn't. Yeah, there's issues. There's issues with their soundtrack stuff that they're trying to do. They're not doing it in a way that is appropriate, and that's why they're getting hit right now. So that doesn't surprise me. And welcome to Oddball Show. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. But yeah, so I was going to say it's very clear that Louie knows that there's silence, and I think maybe the greater thing at work here is not feeling like you have a lot to say, or not feeling like there's a lot to work with when it comes to chat. Those are things, again, that are on us as the creators, right? Which is bringing chat out to engage us, and us continuing to keep that engagement going. And I know it's always hard. It's certainly harder. It's certainly harder when there's no one in chat, but there's really a lot of things we as creators and streamers have a lot more control over, I think, than we believe we do. And what I'm getting at is it's really on us to drive that. It's really on us to drive that engagement. And it's very clear here, Louie, that you feel like you're struggling. You feel like there's nothing to really talk about, or there's really nothing to respond to in chat. And I would challenge you to say, you are an interesting guy. You probably have a lot of fantastic things to say about various topics. It's about not forcing it, but it's really about being yourself and naturally engaging and hopefully creating points of discussion and response from your chat. And I think you know a lot about the world and about what's going on, and you have a number of things that you're interested in and that you can talk about, and there's nothing wrong with in a very organic way bringing those things up. Twitch should have done something sooner for them to push the MCA back and make newer features that, while great, could have been released at a later date. What they should have done is they should have been enforcing this stuff more strictly to begin with. Honestly. They should have been enforcing this more and making it like they kind of let streamers think it was okay, which is part of the problem. That was part of the problem, is they let streamers believe that this was not a big deal because they themselves weren't addressing it in any meaningful way, which is unfortunate, right? Like a lot of people grew accustomed to that, right? They're like, oh, I can play whatever I want because nothing's happened. Okay, cool. Twitch muted my VOD. I guess that's it. And now look what the problem is. We're seeing people, because people who have been on this platform for many, many years having to say, okay, well, I guess I don't have the time to go through literally thousands of highlights, uploads, and clips to fix it. So I guess I have to delete everything. Yep, they didn't enforce it. They did not enforce it. TeamLouie says, I completely agree. I make noises and sing songs because I'm struggling with what to say. Also, I just sing without thinking. I mean, that's totally cool to do stuff, to sing like that. But like, I think you have plenty to talk about. I think that's the thing. I think maybe you don't believe that is the, that you may not believe there are things worth talking about that you want to, but I think, you know, as long as it's appropriate, say what's on your mind, right? You know? And I think that just comes with, yeah, the humming and whistling isn't a bad thing. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's really about looking for meaningful ways to engage. And I think you have plenty to talk about, you know. And here's the thing, the things that I lean on, I can't give you the specific answer, right? The things I lean on in my chat are not the things that Benny would lean on, or you, what you would talk about. You know, my thing is I talk about game design because I'm a game designer, so it occupies a large portion of my thoughts. So I talk about game design. I also talk about you know, streaming. And of course, you know, as my community comes in and out of the stream, the things that are going on with their lives, right? Benny Fitz talks about boogers. That's a lie. But you know, it's really, I've never talked about boogers except in context. It's really about learning to be comfortable with the things that you can discuss with chat, and identifying the things that really make it unique for you. And honestly, I know this sounds really, really tough, but it's really about letting your personality continue to come through. Cause buddy, you got a personality. You're unique, you're interesting, you have a cool voice, hell of a beard. Like, you got all these wonderful things going for you. Don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to say something. Honestly. Like, that's why you have what, over, you said this earlier, you have over in the stream, you have over 100 subs. That's because people care about what you do. So keep doing it, right? And don't be afraid. I know it's gonna be hard for a while, but honestly, it's the time and the effort. That's what matters here. He stole it from that guy he kidnapped, but he does have a personality. People keep telling me I have a great personality, but I think they're just responding to how attractive. Go for it. Benefit says, I know I am. Dude, you're fine. I think we've seen a lot of what we can see here. One thing I would mention before I forget, and then we'll return to everything. Oops. And we'll return to everything else. Oh my god, it's me. Before I forget, I highly recommend closed captioning. Not enough people do it. It is something that is fantastic. It serves your community well. Whether it's someone who's unable to hear or it's someone who's in a quiet place, and they would I'd recommend that you find a solution for closed captioning. You're not sure how to activate it, I can walk you through that, but there are a couple ways to do it. The most common way is through Twitch extensions. There are quite a few Twitch extensions. If you were to go to the Twitch extension section of your creator dashboard and just type in closed captioning, there are a number of solutions that will pop up, and they all kind of do things a little bit differently. I personally prefer an OBS plugin. I personally prefer that because what it does is it transmits my closed captioning to the closed captioning channel of the video player in Twitch, which means viewers can turn it on and off, and it's also present during VODs. But this only really works as a stream as a OBS Studios solution. So if you're not using OBS Studios, then you'd have to rely on an extension through Twitch. Otherwise, I recommend a plugin for OBS Studio. And, you know, it's not 100% perfect. Admittedly, these closed captioning, their software is not the greatest. I mean, there's always, I mean, it's the equivalent of when you're talking to your phone, right? When you're talking to your Android phone, it's the same tech. I do like to have a laugh at how closed captioning will occasionally hear me incorrectly because I'm not over enunciating what I am saying. Can you recommend a couple of highlights to scrub through? If I'd say pick one, because we're getting low on time. Pick one. I'll permit you. Just let me know when you're ready for me to permit you, and then we can take a quick look at it. There's one more thing I want to look at while you do that. I want to look at how you close the stream.
Vehicle thing. And raid one of our friends. Because we're going to be playing Among Us starting a little bit early with some... I am going to save it right there. What's up, 3Dog? 3Dog, you made it just in time. You made it just in time for the raid. Because we're going to call it there. Because we're going to do a little bit of a longer stream tomorrow. Because we're going to be playing Among Us starting a little bit early with some Twitch Sings friends. That being said, I think it's time to go ahead and raid one of our friends. We're going to go ahead and raid Horror Faye. She's trying to push to partner right now, so we're going to go ahead and raid Horror Faye. She's trying to push to partner right now, and we'd like to help any way we can. She's got a real cute voice for those of you who like cute voices. Thank you so much, Quiet Vibes. If you don't mind sticking around to raid with us, that'd be awesome. We're going to go ahead and raid Horror Faye. So the raid call, for those of you who aren't familiar, is TeamLouie raid. And those of you who don't have emotes, just use whatever emotes you want to. If you have emotes, go ahead and use the bark emotes and then the love emotes. And then the two sweets. I'm a fan of cute voices. So we're going to go ahead and raid Horror Faye. Remember, tomorrow night, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Among Us with friends. Please come back and watch us suss out our friends. On that note, thank you very much. I love you very much. And I look forward to making you happy again tomorrow. So take care. Have a good night. I'm going to wait just a second because I don't like raiding on an ad.
Join me and 6 other streamers as we raise funds to support communities.
Oh, he's playing with Dr. Lupo. Okay. Here we go, guys.
That is a huge lie. I don't know if people like literally it's a double.
All right, so pretty good closing. I think you did all the things that I would expect someone to do, which is, you know, thanking them for hanging out, letting them know that you're ending, letting them know that you're going to raid. I think it was fantastic that you actually, you know, said when you'll be on next, especially given your schedule. So overall, good closing. Very good closing. I think that was actually quite well done, especially since you have a kind of a out of whack schedule. You telling them when you'll be online next when you know is really good there. So that was fantastic. The only thing I would maybe do is encourage them to come see, you know, like follow you on social media or join your Discord or something like that. Otherwise, it was pretty good. I thought that was a fine closing. So overall, solid. Did you have a highlight we can look at really quick? Otherwise, we'll close this one out, Louis. Yes. Okay. Here, let me permit you. All right. Let's take a look.
Hope you're having a good whatever day today is. Monday.
Is there a certain section that you would like? So it looks like this is a hot sauce tasting.
Like I think they changed the recipe since then, but the old Buffalo Wild Wings
towards the end
blazing sauce I tried. Very close third is truff. It has a nice tang and a nice flavor to it.
Louis, turn off your autofocus.
And a nice kick, but
turn off your autofocus.
Really intrigued. And remember,
I'm trying to find where you. Oh, you're before this. Okay.
And children, not for people with heart/respiratory problems. Shake well and refrigerate.
Thanks,
after
Cream.
opening.
Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later, bud. Thanks for hanging out.
All right.
I want to see this.
There's a very strong tomatoey, peppery smell. Let me put it back over the keyboard.
What I would do here, Louis, really quick, what I would do here is I would go full screen cam. Or much larger.
It's very thick. There you go. It says 1 drop at a time. That's a pretty big drop. It's a pretty big drop of Dave's Insanity sauce.
I want to see how you do this, and then we'll close it down. The anticipation, though, the anticipation. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that heat hits you immediately. Immediately.
Oh boy.
It went in the back of my throat and in my nose.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
Oh wow. That is not the same level of heat as the rogue sauce.
Yo. Oh man, look at you. Look at you. Oh man. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, don't die, Louis. Don't die, man. Don't kill yourself with this stuff. This is entertaining, though. Walk it out. Walk it out, man. Walk it out. You have a whole list set up where people can...
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, Louis, here's my thing. Got a summary for you. Overall, there's some good stuff there. There's a lot of great things that you got going on. You've got the personality for it. You've got the presence. I think what you need to consider focusing on is leaning into the things that make you unique and not be afraid of being that, and engaging your community and finding things to say. And it's okay if you don't have something to say. I wouldn't beat myself up about it if I were you, but I would continue to practice those things that will help you naturally engage your chat, right? I'm looking forward to your visual redesign. I'd love to see how that works and how that looks for you. I'm always open to giving any feedback if you'd like, especially if you want to talk about any of these other things that we've got going on. What I'll do is I got notes that I will send to you later, and we can discuss that for sure. But overall, man, keep up the good work. I know it's a lot. I know it's hard. The stuff that you need to work on are the hardest things we as creators need to work on. So you're not doing a bad job. I think you're doing fine. I think you just need to continue.